Bombshell report: this country meddled more in our 2016 election than Russia. A new bombshell report from Gateway Pundit exposes how another country played a bigger role in meddling in our 2016 than Russia did. While Russia was busy putting up a few Facebook ads, and trolling on Twitter, the real meddlers were across the pond in the United Kingdom. According to the report from Gateway Pundit, when you stack up the evidence, it's the Brits who Mueller should be investigating, not the Russians. As Joe Hoft at the Gateway Pundit reported earlier this week, there is now solid evidence that proves a foreign government meddled in the 2016 US election. But the government identified is the UK, not Russia. After more than a year of the Mueller investigation, millions of dollars and the mainstream media's, MSM, relentless attack on President Trump, what do we have? Nothing really. President Trump tweeting in February that if the goal of Russia was to create discord in the US, then they have succeeded. They're laughing their asses off in Moscow. Get smart, America. If it was the goal of Russia to create discord, disruption and chaos within the US, then, with all of the committee hearings, investigations and party hatred, they have succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. They're laughing their asses off in Moscow. Get smart, America. Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, February 18, 2018. Since this tweet, the Russia fairy tale has fallen apart. Corrupt Mueller and his team of conflicted, biased and corrupt and angry Democrat investigators and attorneys have found nothing related to their target, President Trump, and now their indictments are unraveling. As the Russia meddling into the 2016 US election unwinds, the meddling by the UK is becoming more and more apparent. Christopher Steele. We've known for over a year that the Clinton campaign and the FBI worked with former UK MI6 spy Christopher Steele, who authored a dossier of salacious statements about President Trump. Steele was reportedly paid by Fusion GPS for the document. Steele was paid $168,000 by Glenn Simpson's company Fusion GPS for the series of memos containing information that was selectively briefed to journalists approved by Simpson and used by the FBI. The Steele dossier was never verified and is suspected of being a total fiction. This act alone by a spy from the UK is troubling enough, but that is not it. Joseph Mifsud. George Papadopoulos, the lower-level campaign worker for the Trump campaign, appears to have been targeted by three individuals with ties to British and/or U.S. intelligence: Joseph Mifsud, Alexander Downer, and Stefan Halper. Mifsud and Papadopoulos obtained positions at an organization named the Center for International Energy and Natural Resources Law and Security. Papadopoulos was a nobody and the center sketchy at best. Mifsud vanished in early November 2017, shortly after Papadopoulos was in the news and indicted. His whereabouts are still unknown. Although the common story is that Mifsud is a Russian agent, many ties seem to lead him back to UK intelligence. Julian Assange put out a Twitter thread noting the connection between Mifsud and UK intelligence. Alexander Downer. Although not a Brit, Alexander Downer is the Australian individual who apparently overheard Papadopoulos talk about Trump and Russia in a bar, which alerted the FBI to the story and their eventual spy program on Trump. This story has been refuted for months. The Papadopoulos Downer meeting has been portrayed as a chance encounter in a bar. That does not appear to be the case. Downer has direct ties to UK intelligence firm Hlut, where he served on the advisory board from 2008 to 2014. Shortly after the Papadopoulos and Downer chance encounter, Peter Strzok was in London per texts released by the FBI. Strzok texts suggest he was in London on August 3, 2016. The corrupt FBI's investigation into Trump officially started a few days earlier. Stefan Halper. One individual all over the internet and social media by the name of Stefan Halper has been identified as a potential FBI spy into the Trump campaign. Note that some believe that Obama may have had more than one spy on the Trump campaign. The most intriguing individual related to Papadopoulos is Halper. According to Jeff Carlson at the Markets Work Dash. My guess is Papadopoulos never know what hit him. A young man, Suddenly thrust into a position beyond his experience, Papadopoulos made for an easy intelligence target. Carter Page almost certainly discussed the just completed Moscow trip with his host, Stefan Halper, during the London Symposium. It's now being reported that Devin Nunes has learned the identity of a top-secret intelligence source that was part of the FBI's counterintelligence investigation. I think there's a decent chance that source is Stefan Halper. Halper had contact with both Papadopoulos and Carter Page. Halper has connections to UK intelligence and US intelligence. Halper met with Carter Page just days after Page's Moscow trip. Other internet sleuths tied Halper to the Obama team of crooks. Halper was paid more than $400,000 in 2016 for his efforts to set Papadopoulos up and get him to sing to the Australia diplomat about Hillary's emails being held by Russia. Halper and others planted this information on Papadopoulos before he shared this with the Aussie in a drunken London pub discussion. Additional research shows that Halper was a classmate of impeached President Bill Clinton. Halper apparently knew Bill Clinton well in their days at Oxford. He later worked as an advisor to the Clinton administration. Robert Hannigan. Hannigan had been head of the GCHQ and he suddenly resigned in January of this year. Hannigan only took over at the UK surveillance agency in November 2014 to oversee a more open approach after revelations by the National Security Agency whistleblower Edward Snowden put GCHQ on the defensive in 2013. His sudden resignation, he informed staff just hours before making this decision public, prompted speculation that it might be related to British concerns over shared intelligence with the US in the wake of Donald Trump becoming president. But the GCHQ press release stressed his decision was exclusively for family reasons. As well as his ill wife, Hannigan has 2 elderly parents to look after. He will remain in post until a successor is appointed. It's still not known what, if any, connection to the Trump-Russia collusion fantasy Hannigan may have had. On Friday, reporter Paul Sperry posted more evidence of the UK was meddling in the 2016 election. The British deep state feared Donald Trump like they feared Brexit. Spygate was a transatlantic plot to stop Trump. The British deep state feared Trump like they feared Brexit. They were part of the same movement, and both posed a threat to the political ruling class on both sides of the bond.t.co web link. Paul Sperry, at @PaulSperry_, May 26, 2018. Dossier author Christopher Steele opposed Brexit like he opposed Trump. And it is worth noting that dossier hack Christopher Steele adamantly opposed Brexit, hated it as much as he hated Trump. T.co web link. Paul Sperry, at @PaulSperry_, May 26, 2018. And all of the deep state hacks took turns traveling to the UK during the election for business. Priestap, Sturczak, Page, McCabe and Michael Gita, FBI agent from Rome, all traveled to London during the campaign. Brennan also made trips. Congressional oversight demands a full accounting of who they met with, and whether British intelligence also spied on Page, other US citizens. Paul Sperry, at @PaulSperry_, May 26, 2018. In summary, based on information to date, the UK had more to do with interfering with the US 2016 presidential election than Russia. The Obama team in the Clinton campaign spied on the Trump administration and used the entire government apparatus, including the CIA, FBI, the DOJ and others, to do so. It appears, they also had help from the UK. These crooks were willing to risk World War III with Russia rather than face a Trump presidency. This all leads to the question, what is so damning that these many individuals would go to such brazen lengths to remove President Trump from office? This is clearly 100 times worse than Watergate.